Rich I break a lot rider.
Corey Bosworth. We are live.
All right.
Keith Smith.
All right, guys, need some marshals out here. If you're in that last race, Robbie, Hunter, Christian, and George. Hold on, it's updating now. There we go. Yeah, Rich is going to start us off. Roy in the 2, Hector in the 3, Keith in the 4. Yep. Someone's got to be at the end of that jump or somewhere. Yeah. Got to scoot back, though. They're not going to be able to see. There we go. Perfect right there. All right, guys. I got marshals. I got drivers. Rich and only Rich on the sound of the tone. Everybody else wait till I call your name. Rich, less than 5. Roy. Hector. Keith. All right, guys. Everybody's on the clock. Oh, one more. There we go.
After 4 minutes left, the top drivers are Hector, Sir Whipsalot, Lozano, Keith Smith, and Roy Keane.
All right, guys, we got Hector out front. Hector down the straightaway he goes, white and red. Roy up to the 2. Roy, that blue-purple car right in front of me. Actually, Keith up to the 2. Roy slips down to the 3. Roy only 0.3 of a second behind Keith.
After 2 minutes left, the top drivers are Hector, Sir Whipsalot, Lozano, Keith Smith, and Roy Keane.
No, that was good. All right, guys. Hector, Roy, Keith. Keith only 3.3 behind Roy. Keith 4.2 behind Roy. Keith right in front of me. Pink and yellow. Last the battle to watch. Keith and Roy.
2 minutes left.
Keith
1
9
second.
tenths of a
The
second
top
behind
drivers are
Roy.
Hector, Sir Whipsalot, Lozano, Roy Keane, and Keith
150
Smith.
left to go, guys. Ooh, Roy taps. Ooh, Keith taps. Who's going to take second? Keith up to the 2 spot. Roy only 8 tenths of a second back. Roy back up to the 2. Keith 9/100ths of a second behind Roy.
After 4 minutes 1 second, the top drivers are Hector, Sir Whipsalot, Lozano, Roy Keane, and Keith Smith.
All right, Keith 8 tenths of a second behind Roy. It's anybody's race for 2 and 3. We got 40 seconds left to go. Let's see what the gap is here. Here comes Keith. Keith 2.8 behind Roy. Roy starting to stretch it out a little bit.
Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, keep him going, keep him going. Keep going, Roy.
Roy Keane done.
Oh, Roy, you are done.
Rich I break a
Rich
lot
is
rider
done. Waiting on Hector and Keith. There's Keith.
Keith Smith done.
Here comes Hector. Hector is going to take the W.
All
Roy
drivers
finishes
are
only
finished.
5 seconds behind
Hector,
him.
Sir Whipsalot,
Keith finishes
Lozano
3
done.
seconds behind Roy. Rich finishes in the 4th spot.
Up next, race number 2.
17.5. Let's go ahead and get him out there.
Buggy. Heat 1 of 2. Race order is George Foy, Ricky Pisarkic, Big Roy Keane, Eric Pacheco, George Foy. Ricky Pisarkic.
You almost had it, Keith. Almost had him. 3 seconds. Dude, you had it. And then he yeah. You guys were going back and forth like the whole time, too. It was within like a second, pretty much the entire race. All right, looking for Big Roy and Roy and Eric.
Eric Pacheco. Big Roy Keane. Roy Keane.
I'm going to give you guys about one more lap here. I think we're good. Thanks, Keith. All right, guys, let's go ahead and gather them up at the end of the straightaway there. Can I get one marshal on the far end? Here comes Rich. We got back-to-back. Roy wants to run every class. Yeah, step back. There you go, right there. All right, guys. I got marshals. I got drivers. George and only George on the sound of the tone. Everybody else, wait till they call your name. George, less than 5. Ricky. Big Roy. Mini Roy. And Eric. All right, guys, everybody's on the clock. All right, we got George out front. George, that blue and white car right in front of me.
After 1 minute left, the top drivers are George Foy, Ricky Pikes, and Eric Pacheco.
This is kind of out of George's comfort zone. We got jumps out there. He doesn't know what to do. All right, George out front. Ricky up to the 2 spot. Ricky 8 seconds behind George. Straight, we are clear.
After 2 minutes left, the top drivers are George Foy, Ricky Pikes, and Roy Keane.
Big Roy, you're going the wrong way, buddy. All right, George.
Xavier Cazares Gallegos. Go Roy.
Go Roy.
After 3 minutes 1 second, the top drivers are George Foy, Ricky Pikes, and Roy Keane.
That's a lot.
Yep.
Dude, that was some weight on them things.
All right, guys, 1:30 left to go. Do I want? Yeah, I do. Thank you. All right, George, Ricky, Roy, Eric, Big Roy. That's the running order.
1 minute 4 minutes 1 second. The top drivers are George Foy, Ricky Pikes and Roy Keane.
All right, guys. Oh, George. There you go. Oh. Oh, George. George just throws down the worst lap in off-road history here. Still out front by about 12 seconds, so pretty sure you're going to make
10,
the ace or
9,
George.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh. All right, keep them going,
Roy Keane
boys.
done.
Keep them going. Roy, you are
Ricky
done.
Pikes done.
Ricky's
George
done.
Foy
George
done.
is done. Looking for Big Roy and Eric. Here comes Big Roy. And here comes Eric.
Big Roy Keane done. All drivers
All right, guys,
are
that's the
finished.
race. George is going to
Eric
take the W.
Pacheco done.
Ricky finishes in the 2. Roy in the 3. Eric in the 4. Big Roy in the 5.
Up next, race number 3. 17.5 buggy. Heat 2 of 2. Race order is Robbie Esplana, Hunter Otto, Christian Gibson, Jorge Lugo. Robbie Esplana, Christian Gibson, Hunter Otto. Jorge Lugo.
All right, I got marshals. I got drivers. Robbie and only Robbie on the tone. Everybody else, wait till I call your name. Robbie, less than 5. Hunter. Christian. George. All right, everybody's on the clock. Faster driver coming up on you. Give him a little bit of room. All right, we got Robbie out front. Hunter in the
1 minute
2.
left. The top drivers are Robbie Esplana, Hunter Otto, and Christian Gibson.
All right, Robbie out front. Hunter in the 2. Robbie right in front of me, pink and white. Hunter, that tan colored car. Oh, watch straightaway, guys. Watch straightaway. Oh, yeah. Oh, that was broken. You got to pull it.
Rush me Waba Bosworth. Go Robbie from Ellie Blue Heart.
3 minutes after left. 2 minutes 1 second. The top drivers are Robbie Esplana, Hunter Otto, and Jorge Lugo.
All right, Robbie out front. Hunter in the 2. 11 seconds back. George in the 3. Robbie into the 13s. 13-9.
After 3 minutes 1 second, the top drivers are Robbie Esplana, Hunter Otto, and Jorge Lugo.
All right, guys. 120 left to go.
After 4 minutes 1 second, the top drivers are Robbie Esplana, Hunter Otto, and Jorge Lugo.
All right, guys. 40 seconds left to go. Robbie, Hunter. Oh. All right, guys. 10 seconds.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Robbie Esplana done. Hunter Otto done. All drivers are finished. Jorge Lugo done.
All right, that's a race. Robbie's going to take it. Hunter in the 3. Is it George or Jorge? Jorge. All right. Jorge in the 3.
When it starts with the J.
Yeah. All right, guys, give me a couple seconds here. I'll get round number 2 sorted for us.
Keith Smith. Can you let me back in, please, and thank you.
Yeah, hold on, Keith. I'm coming.
Up next, race number 1. 21.5 buggy. Heat 1 of 1. Race order is Hector, Sir Whips-a-Lot, Lozano, Roy Keane, Keith Smith, Rich I Break a Lot Rider.
Yeah, I'm driving my keys. Oh, okay. I'm gonna take care of it. You gonna go take care of him? So I have everything, like all my thermals, everything is disabled. So if I blow it up, I blow it up. But yeah, so I'm about to pull off my fan because I don't need my fan. Until it hits two, yeah, unless it hits 225, and ESC is rated for 279. So are we even really pushing on that time? You're getting like 80 to 90 degrees. That's it. Right. So nothing more, nothing less.
All right, guys, it is 7:20 now. We're going to go ahead and get her going here at 7:30 sharp. 7:30 sharp. That's about 11 minutes. In the meantime, practice is open.
All right, race number 1. You guys are up. What? Huh? You guys still have like 6, 7 minutes after. All right, 21-5. I got Hector, Little Roy, Keith, and Rich.
Hector, Sir Whips-a-Lot, Lozano.
You know, Hector, your car is the only one that does that when you walk by. You notice that? Nobody else does that but yours. It's that big head of yours. Are you going to try to get tires too, Corey? Everybody's out of tires. All right. My current TQ is Hector Lozano. Oh, easy there, Keith. Easy. You too, Hector. Easy now. You got.
Keith Smith.
Nice one. Nice. All right, here comes Rich. And waiting on Roy. Roy's getting set up. Rich, where's your B7 body at? Why are you using the B64 body? You know.
Rich, I break a lot rider.
Rich has the last B7 sold here. All right, if I can get some 17.5 buggy drivers out here, greatly appreciated. Thanks to Matt Call for bringing us more Pikes Peak RC Arena trophy stickers. Greatly appreciated. I see Jorge out here.
Roy Keane.
All right, Roy's checked in. Oh, Roy looks like he's ready for Hector. All right, I do need some 17.5 marshals. If you're in that last race, 17.5 marshals, I need you out here. That way you can get this race started. Marshals, I need marshals. Only got one person that's exception to marshaling. That's the one with the busted kneecap. I need 2 more marshals out here. Need 2 more marshals. Need one down here at the ramp. You get that? Okay. All right, I got marshals. I got a grid. Hector, and only Hector on the sound of the tone. Get up there, Hector. In less than 5. Roy. Keith. Big Rich. All right. Remember, you guys are on your own clock. There you go. We are clear. Oh, my top 3 faster than the previous TQ. Roy is hunting down Hector. 0.216 right behind. Oh, Roy was just up in the lead. Hector's back in the lead. Roy is 0.050 away from Hector. Oh. Let's see what happens here. Both are faster than the previous TQ. Roy in the lead. Hector in the 2, Hector 0.4 right behind Roy. Keith in the 3, Rich in the 4. Uh-oh, Keith is hunting down. Keith just passed up Roy.
After 1 minute left, the top drivers are Hector, Sir Whipsalot, Lozano, Keith Smith, and Roy Keane.
All right, Roy and Keith going at it. Keith in the 2, Roy in the 3. All right, 17.5 buggy. First heat, first heat, second qual. You guys are up next. Hector looking to reset TQ. Keith in the 2, Roy in the 3.
After 2 minutes left, the top drivers are Hector, Sir Whipsalot, Lozano, Keith Smith, and Roy Keane.
All right, Roy is hunting down Keith. Got pushed back a little bit, 3 seconds. Now he's 4.4 right behind Keith. Keith just got to keep it clean. Keith in the 2. Uh-oh. Hector, your leader on his lid. Ooh, nice cut through there, Roy. That was a nice U-turn right there. Oh, nice. Not really the slide out there. Oh, Roy and Keith. Hector on his lid again. Got to lap over the guys, though, but you got to keep it clean, Hector. That's unlikely of you. All right, Roy and Keith battling it out. Keith 0.4 right behind Roy. Roy moved up to the 2. Rich still getting used to that new buggy. That's a brand new buggy he's driving. Still getting used to it.
After 3 minutes left, the top drivers are Hector, Sir Whipsalot, Lozano, Roy Keane, and Keith Smith.
All right, Hector, Roy, Keith. Keith 2.5 right behind Roy. Roy's just got to keep it clean. No taps. Minute 35 to go. Yes.
After 4 minutes, the top drivers are Hector, Sir Whipsalot, Lozano, Roy Keane, and Keith Smith. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
All right, Hector,
2,
Roy, Keith.
1.
Corey, you know me. I'm up for anything, dude. I'll just get yelled at when I get home.
Hector, Sir Whipsalot.
Hector done in the
Lozano
1.
done.
Roy done in the 2. Good job,
Keane
Roy.
done.
Roy and
Keith
Keith
Smith
were
done.
battling it out. Keith in the 3. Here comes Rich.
All drivers are
Probably
finished.
get Rich scared away for
Rich, I
Saturday.
break a
This
lot
is
rider
practice
done.
for him. We'll get him squared away for Saturday. All right, that is a race. 17.5. You guys are up next.
Up next, race number 2. 17.5 buggy. Heat 1 of 2. Race order is Eric Pacheco, Jorge Lugo, Big Roy Keane, Christian Gibson.
one, dummy. I'm on hyperspar. Start. You never heard how those start, Corey?
I know they say that those cars are faster than F1 cars because they're unrestricted.
Yeah. That's Cadillac. Yeah, that's a Cadillac. I think to me which is this one's the most.
Like they're hyper, so they're electric and gas.
Yeah. Dude, they hit 230, 240 miles an hour.
They say because the whole body is designed for downforce.
So there was
They say that there's way more downforce in those cars than F1.
there was a guy that brought one up to the Pikes car. The air dam went from the front, and you can, and it was narrow like this, and the back was like this, and it was like a catamaran. Boom. I was like, holy crap.
I've seen those too, where they got like a funnel going all the way through the car.
They said it was 2,600 pounds of downforce. You see the McMurdo? They put it upside down.
Yeah.
With the vacuum on there, I was like, oh, that thing actually stationary.
Top Fuel dragsters would go upside down too, they could start.
You see what Little Force did, right? Miss Force did?
Yeah. Not only does she have the speed record in the 8th mile at over 3
Now she got the quarter mile now.
Now she's got the quarter mile too.
Unstoppable.
341.
Oh yeah, here's a Ferrari. Oh, that's all right. Because Corvette has that flat plane crank ground now.
So
That's why it's. Have you heard how the ZL6 sounds? At full speed, it sounds like a Ferrari. Because it's a flat plane crank now. Are you guys up there? I just need you guys to check in. I just need Eric, George, Jorge, and Big Roy Keene to check in, and Christian. Oh.
Christian Gibson,
Oh, ooh.
Jorge Lugo,
That was close.
Eric Pacheco,
Where's Big Boy? You coming out? All right. I do need one more marshal. Who's my Rich? I need you over here at the last cone down here. Yeah, the tabletop ramp at the end. Right at the end of their driver stand. Running through this quick. Who is that? Is that you, Christian? Well, your buggy moves. You're the
Big Roy Keene,
That thing moves. So you know what I did, Christian? You know what I did? So Russ that was here, he was driving a 21.5. He's hitting close to 12s. So all I did was follow him, and I only half throttled it the whole entire way and got lower times driving tighter lines slower than I was driving faster when I was following him. How's your, well, you can look at your steering too. What is that? Is that is that the 7 or 4? So 4? Oh, that should be easy to do. All right, I got everybody out. Is Big Boy out there? Did you do your lap? Good deal. All right, I got Eric, Jorge, Big Roy, Christian. I'll be calling you guys' names off one by one. Eric on the sound of the tone in less than 5. Jorge, Big Roy, Christian. Oh man, 2 blue cars out there. Fix that track too. Push it back. Push it. Push it. There you go. Watch out behind you. All right, 4:30 to go. 4:30 to go. Eric, Jorge, Big Roy, Christian. Let me tape that down real quick.
After
4
1
minutes
minute left, the top drivers are Eric Pacheco, Christian Gibson, and Big Roy Keane. After 2 minutes left, the top drivers are Eric Pacheco, Christian Gibson, and Big Roy Keane.
Oh, we're going to be testing out core RC motors. All right. 2:12 to go. Christian's got the hot lap, 16.377. Eric with the 18 flat. Jorge, 23.03. Big Roy, 23.7. Christian is at the top of my B
The
sortie.
top drivers are Christian Gibson, Eric
pull that track back.
Pacheco, and Jorge Lugo.
Watch your hands there, Keith. All right, should be good. All right, Christian, Eric, Jorge, Big Roy. Christian drops down to a 15.8. That is my hot lap. Oop, oop. All right, minute 20 to go, minute 20 to go. Last off-road, I announced that we wanted to do a whip it competition. I think we're still in order for that on the mid-break. Do a small whip it competition off this main feature right here, which is actually pretty cool.
4 minutes 1 second. The top drivers are Christian Gibson, Eric Pacheco, and Jorge Lugo.
Kyle almost killed Ellie with the side somersault whip it. It was actually pretty cool. All right, Christian back down with a 15.873 in the number 1 spot. Eric in the number 2. Jorge in the 3. Big Roy in the 4. 30 seconds to go. 30 seconds to go. Throw him on the platform. Thank you. Oh, oh, Big Roy, there's a wall there.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6,
All right,
5.
I'm up, Corey.
4, 3, 2, 1. Eric Pacheco done. Christian Gibson done. Jorge Lugo done.
All right. That's a race. Christian's going to take it. Eric in the 2, Jorge in 3.
Up next, race
Robbie,
number 3.
George, Ricky, Hunter, and Roy, you guys
17.5
are
buggy.
up.
Heat 2 of 2. Race order is Robbie Esplana, George Foy, Ricky Pi Sarkic, Hunter Otto, Roy Keane, Ricky Pi Sarkic, Robbie Esplana. Hunter Otto.
Oh.
George Foy.
All right, need a marshal in the middle. There we go. You're whipping it the wrong way. What the heck was that? You got to whip it the other way. All right, guys. Let's go ahead and gather them up at the end of the straightaway. All right, Robbie and only Robbie on the sound of the tone. Everybody else wait till they call your name. Robbie, less than 5. George. Ricky. Hunter. And Roy. All right, everybody's on the clock. This is your A sort. George leads lap number 1. All right, Robbie out front.
After 4 minutes left, the top drivers are George Foy, Robbie Esplana, and Hunter
Armstrong,
Otto.
Robbie, George, 1/10 of a second back. George, 5 seconds back now. We got Hunter in the 3, Ricky in the 4, Roy in the 5. Still a long way to go, guys. Oh, George gets it wrong. Here comes Hunter. Ooh, Hunter gets it wrong. Robbie gets it wrong. Oh, right behind you, Hori. There we go.
After 2 minutes left, the top drivers are Robbie Esplana, George Foy, and Ricky Pikes.
Just run it. There we go. There we go. Oh, middle. There we go. All right, Robbie leading them around. George in the 2, 5 seconds back. Ricky in the 3, Roy up to the 4, Hunter in the 5. Three down, 2 to go, guys. 3 down, 2 to go.
The top drivers are Robbie Esplana, George Foy, and Ricky Pikes.
All right, guys, 1:25 left to go. Robbie, George, Ricky, Roy, Hunter. Roy, 9 seconds behind Ricky. Hunter, 10 seconds behind Roy.
After 4 minutes 1 second, The top drivers are Robbie Esplana, George Foy, and Ricky Pisarkic.
It finally went away. Here, give it to me. There we go. All right, guys, 30 seconds left to go.
Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hunter Otto done. Robbie Esplana done. Ricky Pisarkic done. George Foy done.
All right, just need Roy to finish. All right, that's a race.
All drivers
Robbie's
are
going to take the
finished.
W. Reset
Roy
in
Keane
TQ. George finishes in the 2, Ricky in the 3, Roy in the 4, Hunter in the 5.
Up next, race number 1. 21.5 buggy. A main. Race order is Hector, Sir Whipsalot, Lozano, Roy Keane, Keith Smith, Rich I Break a Lot Rider,
Yeah.
Roy Keane. Roy Keane. Roy Keane.
The mod guys, when they do it, they're like, and they show the whole thing like this, and then they bring it back. And I'm like, I do baby ones, I can't.
Hey, you guys are going to be standing out there for like 15 minutes if you're waiting on the next race. All right, mains are posted, guys. Mains are posted. It is 8:02 now. We're going to go ahead and get her going here at about 8:15-ish, 8:15-ish.
Keith Smith.
Discarded Parcel Cup. Cheap viewers on streambo.com, remove the space, at YMBF6
All right, guys, race number 1.
Currently up, race number 1. 21.5 buggy. A main. Race order is Hector, Sir Whips-a-Lot, Lozano, Roy Keane, Keith Smith, Rich I Break a Lot Rider.
All right, Hector, Roy, Keith, and Rich. Also need George,
Hector,
Ricky,
Sir Whips-a-Lot,
Hunter, and
Lozano.
Robbie out here to Marshall. All right, I got Hector out here. I got Keith out here. Looking for Roy and Rich. Here comes Roy. Here comes Rich.
Rich I Break a Lot Rider.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. George is like, hold on. Let's not go crazy here. F1 cars. You won't even lose a second. All right, guys. Let's go ahead and grid them up. This is a heads-up start. Hector starting off on the pole. Roy right behind him in the 2. Keith in the 3. Rich in the 4. All right, guys. I got marshals. I got drivers. Got me a grid. 21.5 A main. We're going to go on the tone. Oh, Hector gets it wrong. Still got a long way to go. All right, we got Roy leading him around. Oh, Hector up to the 2. Keith slips down to the 3. Rich in the 4. Hector 4
5
seconds
minutes
behind
left.
Roy.
The top drivers are Roy Keane, Hector, Sir Whips-a-Lot, Lozano, and Keith Smith.
All right, Roy, Hector, Keith, Rich. Keith 4.5 behind Hector. Hector 3.6 behind Roy. 4:20 left to go. All right, Hector to the point. Roy in the 2 right behind him.
After 2 minutes left, the top drivers are Hector, Sir Whipsalot, Lozano, Roy Keane, and Keith Smith.
All right, Hector out front. Roy's still in it, only 2 seconds back.
After 3 minutes left, the top drivers are Hector, Sir Whipsalot, Lozano, Roy Keane, and Keith Smith.
All right, Roy reeling in Hector here. Roy's on a mission. Let's see what the gap is. Gap, less than a second. Hector gets it wrong. Hector gets it wrong again. Roy to the point. Hector's got some catching up to do. Keith in the 3, Rich in the 4. 2 minutes, 25 seconds left to go. Oh, Roy gets it wrong. Doesn't shave too much time here. Hector trying to reel him
10
in.
minutes left. The top drivers are Roy Keane,
Straight away,
Hector,
straight away.
Sir Whipsalot, Lozano, and Keith Smith.
We are clear. All right, 1:45 left to go. Oh. Hector loses a little bit of time. Not too bad. All right, Roy out front. Hector 3.2 behind him. We got 1:15 left to go. Still, anything can happen here. Roy's got a little bit of time to play with. No reason to push it too hard.
After 5 minutes 1 second, the top drivers are Roy Keane, Hector, Sir Whipsalot, Lozano, and Keith Smith.
All right, guys, 25 seconds left to go.
Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right,
Rich I break a
keep
lot
him going,
rider
keep him
done.
going.
Roy Keane done. Keith Smith done.
All right, Roy's going to take the W. Hector finishes in the
All
2.
drivers are finished.
Keith in the
Hector,
3.
Sir
Rich in the
Whipsalot,
4.
Lozano done. Up next, race number 2. 17.5 buggy. B main. Race order is Christian Gibson, Eric Pacheco, Jorge Lugo, Big Roy Keane.
All right, Christian, Eric, Jorge, Big Roy.
Jorge Lugo, Eric Pacheco, Christian Gibson.
All right. Just need Big Roy out here. He's coming. Let's go and grid him up, guys. Christian on the point. Eric starting off in the 2 spot. Jorge in the 3. Big Roy in the 4. There we go.
Big Roy Keane.
I don't know if that's going to work, Big Roy. There we go. All right, guys, I got marshals. I got drivers. Got me a grid. We're going to go on the tone.
After 1 minute left, the top drivers are Christian Gibson, Eric Pacheco, and Jorge Lugo.
All right, Christian, Eric, Jorge, Big Roy. That's the running order. All right, Christian out front. Jorge in the 2.
After 2 minutes left, the top drivers are Christian Gibson, Eric Pacheco, and Jorge Lugo.
Christian, Eric, Jorge. Jorge only 2.3 behind Christian. That's the battle of the watch. Through the infield they go. Those 2 green cars. That's 2 and 3.
After 3 minutes left, the top drivers are Christian Gibson, Jorge Lugo, and Eric Pacheco.
All right, Christian, Jorge, Eric. Eric only 1.5 behind Jorge. They're still battling it out. Down the straightaway they go. Ooh, Jorge gets it wrong. Here comes Christian. Here comes Eric. Over the big one they go. Eric reeling them in. Down the straightaway they go. Oh, they get into each other. Eric to the 2, Jorge to the 2. Over the big one they go. Jorge gets it wrong. Eric gets it wrong.
After 2 minutes left, the top drivers are Christian Gibson, Eric Pacheco, and Jorge Lugo.
All right, Christian out front. Starting to stretch out his lead. He's got a couple laps on everybody. Eric starting to stretch out his lead over Jorge. Let's see what the gap is. 6.6 seconds is the gap between 2 and 3. That hurt. Big Roy goes full gun into a brick wall. Oh, no. Zeke's.
After 5 minutes, 1 second, the top drivers are Christian Gibson, Eric Pacheco, and Jorge Lugo.
All right, guys. Christian, Eric, Jorge, Big Roy.
Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Zeke's dot just blew up.
Big Roy Keane done.
Dot.
Jorge Lugo done.
All right. Jorge, you're done. Big Roy's done. Christian's done. And here comes Eric. I got to check out that. All right, that's the race. Christian's going to take it. Eric finishes in the 2, Jorge in the 3, Big Roy in the 4. Need the top 3 to stay up here.
Up next, race number 3.
I need everybody to check in for me.
17.5 buggy. A main.
Can everybody
Race
do one
order
lap
is
for me?
Robbie Esplana, George Foy, Ricky Pisarkic, Roy Keane, Hunter Otto, George Foy, Robbie Esplana, Ricky Pisarkic, Hunter Otto.
Can I get Roy to check in one more time? Roy, you got a transponder in there? Zeke wants to know who broke his dot. Still watch the video. When it explodes, that's it. All right, there's Roy.
Roy Keane.
All right, guys, go ahead and grid him up. Robbie is your TQ. George starting right behind him in the 2. Ricky in the 3. Roy in the 4. Hunter in the 5. All right. I got marshals. I got drivers. Got me a grid. We're going to go on the tone. Go get him, George. All right, Robbie out front. George in the 2, 2 seconds back. Hunter up to the 3, 7/10 behind George. Oh, Marshall in the middle. There we go. George catching up to Robbie.
The top drivers are Robbie Esplana, George Foy, and Hunter Otto.
Oh, George gets it wrong. Robbie's going to stretch it out a little bit. All right, 4:30 left to go, guys. We got Robbie, George, Hunter, Roy in the 4. Roy only 2.6 behind Hunter. That's a battle for the last podium spot. Ooh, Hunter gets it wrong. Here comes Roy. Roy up to the 3. Hunter slips down to the 4.
After 2 minutes left, the top drivers are Robbie
Here
Esplana,
comes Hunter.
George Foy, and Hunter Otto.
Hunter and Roy. Oh, your leader. No, that's not your leader. Just wait for it, Roy. Hold on, Roy. You got to wait. And go, go, go. All right. Robbie, George, Roy, Hunter. Hunter's still 2 seconds behind Roy. That's the closest battle on the track, 2 and 3, or 3 and 4. George still sticking in there. He's only 4 seconds behind Robbie. Oh, right here in front of me. Right here in front of me.
After 3 minutes 1 second, The top drivers are Robbie Esplana, George Foy, and Roy Keane.
All right, Roy and Hunter still battling it out. Through the infield they go. Ooh, Hunter taps out. Roy's going to stretch it out a little bit here. All right, 2:20 left to go. All right, guys. 4 down, 2 to go.
2 minutes After 4 left. Minutes 2 seconds. The top drivers are Robbie Esplana, George Foy, and Roy Keane.
All right, Robbie, George, Roy, Hunter. Hunter 5.7 behind Roy. That's still the closest battle on the track. All right, we got Hunter up to the 3.
1 minute left. After 5 minutes,
Roy
2
slips
seconds.
down to the 4.
The top drivers are Robbie Esplana, George Foy, and Hunter Otto.
50 seconds left to go. Let's see if Roy can reel in Hunter here. Ooh, Hunter gets it wrong. Here comes Roy. Over the big one they go. Oh, Hunter gets it wrong. Roy gets it wrong. Roy up to the 3 spot. Hunter slips down to the 4. Hunter right on the back of Roy here. We got 20 seconds left to go. Hunter taps out. Roy just needs to keep it clean.
10, 9.
Oh, Roy
8,
taps out. Here comes Hunter.
7, 6.
It's going to be a
5,
battle to the finish.
4,
Roy
3,
Hunter taps
2,
out.
1. George Foy done.
Roy's going to take the 3rd
Roy
spot.
Keane done.
Hunter finishes
Otto
in
done.
the 4.
Ricky Pisarkic done.
Robbie's going to take the
All
W.
drivers are
George
finished.
finishes in the 2. Roy
Robbie
in the 3.
Esplana
Hunter in the
done.
4. Ricky in the 5. All right, guys, that concludes our race program. Thanks, everybody, for coming out. We will see everybody on Saturday. Should have a decent turnout Saturday.
that's just more weight cut.